Okay. Hi there. There was a lag in my introduction. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. I've got
Hi,
a new
everyone.
member. Guess who it is? Heart and Soul Connected, Allie Martin. Yay. Thank you,
Hi,
Allie.
Allie.
And I know that you're not watching because I just got a notification that you're starting your own show right now, but maybe you'll listen. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you. And we've got some. Hey, here is SR Kish. Hello, Deborah and Lalit. Oh, you're
Hi,
one of our
SR.
biggest fans. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work. And we've got Gemstone Rhapsody. What's going on here? Hello, sweetheart. So happy you're here. I appreciate you. Julie V1112. Suzanne loves Topan. Oh no. I was thinking of the artist Chopin when I looked at this, but it's Susan loves to plan. I made you into Chopin. So good to see you, Maria. I appreciate it. We're going to wait just a few minutes, maybe not too long, much longer, because I want to do a lot of the personal readings. Maria is receiving abundance. I love these names. There she is. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for coming. And Connie B. Appreciate you. Charlie's here. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate this. Rocky. Have I not met you before? Thank you for coming. I really appreciate this. Hello. And Craig is here. Thank you so much, dear. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, McNeil. I'm a poet today. So we're going to move into Lalit is going to move into how we can set up the future for the next week. And during that commentary, I am going to star the people who are here who want readings. Please put your readings in capital letters. Those eyes ain't what they used to be. And so I can star you and set you aside. Now, those of you, now it's free, all of it is free. If you want to support the channel and you buy a sticker or something like that, then you will get right up to the front of the line. You would be guaranteed a reading. But we're going to go through one by one. I'm going to try to keep it in a row, but I might not. So I've got Julie M. first. Hello, Mary Thornton. And so I am going to hand it over to Lalit.
Before you do, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
If, since we want to get in more time with people and break it up a little bit so that they have their personal readings, after I finish talking a little bit about the long-term thing that we're going through, the Jupiter-Saturn cycle, that's long-term, and I'm going to talk about some interesting historical things that'll give you some perspective into what's going on now, because things are very intense, as we all know. And then I was going to get into this week's predictions, which are all kind of lovely. Like I was telling Deborah, like lollipops and unicorns, Venus and Jupiter and really happy, nice things. But we know that's not, that there are things looming, what's going to happen with the trial, what's going to happen with the debate, what's going to happen with the election. Oh my God. So that first discussion of the Jupiter-Saturn cycle will address that in a big way. So would you like, Deborah, when I finish talking about the big Jupiter-Saturn thing that we're all going through, the whole planet, I'll stop and say, do you want to break it up and have some personal readings now? And then I can go do the weekly thing a little later. I'll ask you and see what you think. Or do you want me to just do the whole thing all at once?
I think the whole thing all at once, because once I'm in the reading mode, it's like I can't just jump around
Okie doke.
once I'm in there. So,
Okay.
all right.
All right then, let's go for it. And I'll try. Really, I don't think you're going to be bored because we're gonna talk.
Oh, wait. I want to say one more thing. Can everyone hear us okay? I only have one earbud in, so if we're not having any problems with sound, we'll just go ahead and start. Okay, Lalit,
Are
the
we good?
floor is yours. You bet.
All righty. So I hope everybody had a glorious full moon in Sagittarius experience, and we're going to do the briefest recap of that. But if you didn't watch last week's show and you don't know exactly what happened during the Sagittarius full moon experience, you can go back and review last week's show, May 17th, for all those details, because we don't want to rehash it now. But the coming week's energies will emphasize those same beautiful things. We have lots of Jupiter and Venus things going on that are lovely and fabulous. But I'm going to, instead of going into that now, remember that the lunation and the full moon and the faster moving planets are important, very much so. And thank God we have them, because it helps us recharge our batteries when we have a lovely Jupiter and Venus experiences. We feel happy, we get charged up. It gives us the strength to go on this slogging through the other things that we're going through. So it's those outer planets that are the sticky wickets. And we're going to talk today about Jupiter and Saturn, because we are in the middle of a Jupiter-Saturn cycle that's really significant. So I'm going to give you a little bit of historical perspective that I think you'll find really interesting about these outer planets. And then you'll get a bigger picture of what it is exactly that's going on around us. It'll be more clear to you, and kind of some fun factoids from history. And this will give you an overview for the rest of the year, from now to December, regarding this Jupiter-Saturn cycle that we're in. And it's going to be really helpful, I think, to give you the spoiler alert is that we're going to talk about the outcome of the trial in New York, the current one, the debate, and the election. These three big events are all part of the Jupiter-Saturn thing that we're going through, which we will be through in December. And as a little spoiler alert, Trump has seen his best days. It's all downhill from here. And there might be little plateaus along the way, not to worry, because it's a downhill slide. And there is no disputing that. It's like written in the stars. So I'm going to give you the facts about history and how things have unfolded in the situations in the past, so that you'll understand a little bit better, and you'll be more comforted with that, I feel. So regarding the hush money trial, I do think he's going to be convicted. But in case he's not, I think the worst that can happen for America is that he get a hung jury, and then there'll be a retrial. At any rate, he's got really negative aspects for Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and Uranus that will all be carried over into the debate, where, just to give you the big view, and I'll do another show on my channel giving more details, but there's going to be a Mars-Uranus conjunction. And you all know what that is, having been to this channel before. You know, Mars is the warrior's energy. Uranus is sudden dramatic change. Put those together, you have the atom bomb. And it's sitting exactly on top of Trump's Mars, which is on his ascendant in Leo. Oh my God, there can't be anything more explosive than that. This is what he's facing during the debate. And he also has Saturn and Mercury negative things that'll make him very gloomy and despondent. And his message will be one of doom and gloom, and not happy tidings for what we can build in the future, but more like whining and complaining negative talk. And it's not going to help him. And with all of this, the Republicans are going to be in deep doo-doo at their convention. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But first of all, I'm going to bring up the Jupiter-Saturn cycle. Those are the two biggies, the two big lords of our solar system. When they come together, at every cycle they have is approximately 20 years for that to happen, because Jupiter moves faster, and it by the time it catches up to Saturn's gone a little bit farther ahead, but it's about every 20 years. And it used to work like clockwork for over 100 years. Every president that was elected in the year of the Saturn-Jupiter cycle died in office, everyone. So when the election came for Nixon and JFK. Now, see, I'm old enough to actually remember that debate. I actually saw it on TV when I was a kid. And the fact was that Nixon was the vice president under a very popular Ike Eisenhower, who everybody loved. And he was so popular that Nixon was seen as kind of a shoo-in candidate. And but the astrologer said, nope, because this is a Saturn-Jupiter cycle, and the president is probably going to die in office, and looks like Nixon is going to live a long, happy life, or maybe not happy, but he's not going to die in office, certainly. But JFK's chart didn't look good for his future. It looked like he might succumb during the presidency. And so the astrologer said, no, it's JFK, because he's the one that is more likely to be in office when this terrible event happens. So sure enough, the rest was history. And the next thing that happened, the next time this came up, was Ronald Reagan. So now, and this had been happening now for 100 years, like clockwork, and they all died in office. So it came Reagan's turn in office, and Nancy Reagan was really hooked to her astrologer. If she didn't, I'll say something rude, she didn't let Ronnie take a dump if he didn't get an okay from the astrologer. I mean, she had to have everything was approved. Well, they knew there was this danger for him, because that was the time of the cycle. They put lots of extra protection. And, when he was shot at close range in the stomach, there was a Secret Service person came in the way and really saved him, because they were they were prepared. So this is when the beloved Deborah saying, forewarned is forearmed, was very helpful to Reagan, because they were taking all preventive measures. So he did survive being shot, but if you think about that, cycle affects the whole world, not just America. At that time, I was living in Rome, and the Pope got shot also, and then John Lennon. So it was a very sad time that these terrible things happened. Now, the last one that occurred, guess when it was? It was December of 2020. Y'all remember? It wasn't just the president dying. There were millions of people dying from COVID. That was the height of COVID, when everyone is succumbing to that. And then there was the election that Trump lost, but denied that he lost, and he tried to destroy the whole democracy. So it was almost more than our presidency. We just missed by a hair, of not losing the whole country. But that is when the last Jupiter cycle started. Now, imagine that this is a 20-year cycle. And in astrology, you have a big circle, and each time you get a square angle, and there are 4 of them, the first square, then the second half, just like the lunar cycles, the first phase, full moon, third quarter. So there are 4 phases, 90 degrees each. And every time we get to a 90-degree point in the cycle, it's real intense. And that's what we're going through right now. So it's like 4 to 5 years in each quarter phase. So we were in it in 20, and now we're in 24, and we'll be kind of through it at the end of the year. It becomes exactly, I wrote down when it's exact. let's see if I don't know if I can find my little date. I can't remember some dates like that, but I think it's in August that it's really August, September, October. It's getting really more intense, and then by December it's waning. So we'll be more out of danger by then. But you can see that by when the Republican convention hits, you're going to have the really intense things added to that. And I had mentioned to Deborah when we first started talking about doing this show a couple months ago, I happened to look at the day of the convention. I think it's July 14th. I've got all my notes here. Let me see if I can find it. But when that convention happens, there is a big shitstorm with Mars and Uranus just hit the fan. The Republican Party is like it's like an implosion. So it's more than just the presidency at stake, having someone shoot the president, but it's a bigger, more nuclear event where the whole Republican Party is going to hit the fan. I said to Deborah, well, it's like a shitstorm in a dumpster fire on the Republican convention. I said that a few months ago when I happened to kind of look at that date, and it is just crazy. So anything can go wrong there, and we don't know. Will Trump be the nominee? I think he probably will, and I kind of hope he will because he's our Pluto king. He's bringing the whole Pluto and Aquarius thing to a big close because he's purging out all of the little caca things that we had in corruption in the government,
Little caca things. I like that.
Well, that's what Pluto does. That's what it rules. It rules caca.
We have
yes.
rules caca. Now you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Say, we have a question here, and I kind of thought about this too, because you're saying these facets that we're going through. How Mary says, how long will it last? So this danger zone that everybody's
in December, and you may say, well, of course, the election will be over by then. Give it about a month to resolve after the election, a month and a half for all the fine points because they're going to definitely, there will be protests and problems all over small. But it's not going to drag on for 6 years like the last one, 4 years like the last one did, So okay, I'm not going to drag on that long. So December, that's the good news. By December, we will start breathing the air. We say, we made it out of the forest and into the light. So we will have, when Jupiter is in Gemini, it's also going to be trine Pluto, and Jupiter squares Saturn, and Saturn is in Jupiter's sign. And so it's a mutual reception, makes everything more intense. And, we've had all the planets mushed in one area. Remember how every chart we look at, all the planets are squished in, and Pluto is stationary, makes it more powerful. When it's not moving, it's magnified. So this is not the regular Jupiter-Saturn conjunction cycle because it's more intense for all these factors. So we can expect coming through the forest in December, the end of the year. I wish it were sooner, but that's the real. There will be these times that we will see beautiful things happen. I think we're going to see beautiful things happen at the debate because it's going to go so poorly for that other side. You know what I'm talking about. So not that I wish that, but looking at Trump's chart on that day, wow, it's really something crazy. It's a real trial by fire. But we have these problems in the country, you see, with greed and hatred and corruption, selfishness, lack of love toward other people, and respect for all humanity. These are things we need to reinstill in our country. And we can't do that with what's going on now. It has to be cleaned up. So it's cleanup patrol time, and you can expect it doesn't happen in a day. We didn't get here in a day, and we won't get out of it in a day. But by December, we're going to be sitting pretty, and mid-August, it's exact. Yeah. So that the square is exact in mid-August, and Saturn is also retrograde at that time. A lot of issues to resolve. On the good side, it does, and Pluto and Venus are also in an aspect that will give us tenacity, perseverance, the will to survive, and pushing forward. So people are going to stick it out. It's going to be a powerful volcanic tower moment, but we're going to see it through. There will be the strength of resolve of there are more good people in this country. The majority of people in this country are wonderful, good people, and people will come out in droves, and the situation is going to be a win-win all around. And after December, Trump will not be a factor anymore. And the snake dies when you cut off the head. Say no more about that. So all right. The good news is that things that will go in our favor. The trial, the first one, probably will work out in our favor. I think at 80% chance. There is another chance that the trial in probably Florida won't go, but there's a chance for Judge Chutkan in the uprising in the January 6th trial, and then the debate's going to go very one-sided because Biden has very good influence. Those same things that are hitting Trump in a negative way are helping Biden and giving him strength and courage and power. So the teeter-totter is going to swing in our favor. And don't you worry, take a big breath, sigh of relief, and think what a wonderful Christmas season we're going to have. So when you get discouraged, when things look bad, think about Christmas time being wonderful and a new beginning for our country where we can sweep away the refuse and plant in
Pluto's caca.
The caca.
Susan loves Chopin. I mean, Tuplan says, I am enthralled listening to you, Lalit. It gives me hope. Thank you.
Well, I'm not making it up for that purpose, though. Right. I'm telling you what's really going on, and you see the historical perspective of the cycle that we talked about, all the presidents that died in office, all in like over 100-year period, and you see that we are now repeating it, come to the culmination of it, where our whole system is going to be revised in a way that will be much better. Okay, so let's get to the happy talk. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. There was a little song about that in, I think, South Pacific? Talk about things you like to do, like Venus, the harbinger of peace, love, harmony, all relationships that are friendships and amorous type also, joy and pleasures of life, is entering Gemini. And it will be in the heart of the sun. Now, as I sat down, I drew a little picture here that I'm going to show because I want you to understand that Venus also has a cycle. Sometimes it's referred to as the morning star because you see it at sunrise. And sometimes you see it at nighttime, and it's called the evening star. You don't see it at any other time. So, you may wonder, well, how can that be? So I'm going to explain it all to you right now. Let's pretend that Venus is in Aries, okay? And the sun is after it in the zodiac, and it's in Taurus. So here's the horizon, and you look over to the horizon, and the horizon, you're going to look where the sun comes up in the morning. So you're going to look to the east, and here's the horizon. And as you see, as you're looking, here comes Venus in Aries. And Venus is there all by itself, and it's bright like a jewel because it's so pretty. It's the prettiest planet. It makes the most beautiful light, and it's just so lovely to behold. And it represents all those beautiful things like love and peace and harmony. After Venus comes up and we see it in its brilliance, here comes the sun. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And now the sun comes up and it's so bright that Venus is overshadowed by the brilliance. And now the sun is up and then the sun sets, and that's the end of that. Now, if Venus moves ahead of the sun, which it's going to do right away now because it's going to go cazimi, that means into the heart of the sun. So it moves forward faster than the sun is going. The sun stays a steady pace. It goes 1 degree every day, almost exactly. But Venus and Mercury can go faster or slower or even backwards relative to how we're looking. So when that happens, Venus catches up with the sun and goes past it. And in that case, this Venus will be ahead in the zodiac. So let's say the sun is in Gemini now, and Venus has moved ahead of it, is further ahead in the zodiac in Cancer. Well, at sunrise, when you look over to the eastern point, you will see, oh, here comes the sun, little darling. And you just see the sun, but you don't see Venus yet because it didn't come up. But now sun comes up, it's brighter and brighter. Oh, it's broad daylight. When Venus comes up, you can't see it because it's too bright by the sun and it's hidden by the sunlight. So you don't see it at all. So the sun moves all the way around the circle and it goes all the way to the other side to set. When the sun goes to set, it's now going to go down first. I can't hold this thing straight. How do I do that? There we go. Sun sets first. And when the sun sets, then it gets dark and there's Venus and it's nighttime. And the sun is gone. It's getting dark and Venus is near the western horizon. And that's when it's called the evening star. Now, that's what's happening to us right now. Venus has been the morning star. Now it's going to hit the sun and become cazimi, exact cazimi, into the heart of the sun. And it transforms from being the morning star to the evening star. And this is happening now. Venus never gets more than like 46 degrees away from the sun. So when you're looking at the sky, it's always right next to the sun. And sometimes you can't see it. But if it's midnight and you look up and you think you see Venus, you don't, because it has to be within a 40, it's actually 46 degrees, but say 45 degree angle from the sun. So if you think you're seeing Venus and it's midnight, you're probably looking at Jupiter. So right now, Venus is beginning its new cycle. So you want to know where that's happening because it's so important when this occurs. And Mercury is going to be relatively close to this whole event. So right now, the change is happening in Gemini, and all mutable signs, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius, will feel the change more strongly. And the house that you have Gemini in your horoscope, and I showed you how to find that from the chart that I sent to you, that is the area of life that it will affect you. But it's always going to involve what Venus has in it: relationships, pleasure, fun. But relationships is the crux of the Venus energy. Partnerships, whether they be friendships, family partnerships, family members, or love interests, or your children, brothers and sisters, etc. So you'll see the relationships affected in the area of life that is it where the especially where it occurs. So if you have Gemini in the sixth house, that would be the house of service, of health, of nursing, taking care of other people. So within your family matters, there may be some issues relating to health topic and taking care of people that are healthy. And that it's a relationship that you are involved in, either in the receiving end of receiving the care or in the caregiving end, either way. So in the house that it's in, you'll see where you're busiest in this relationship area. But change in relationship is going to be strongly felt for everybody. And looking at your own particular horoscope, you can see where that's happening. In the eighth house, it might be other people's money, legacy, your mortgage, change your relationship in this area. You might have a big fight with your insurance agent and cancel your insurance policy or something. Something might go wrong. But then Mercury is close at hand, so there will be lots of communication and back and forth with other people. And on the good side, it can affect fun and pleasure, enjoyment, sporting activities. These are the parts where you can experience the brightness of it. So do get involved in take up pickleball with your neighbors or something like that. Go. I'm going to take my son and his wife to go swimming in Lake Mead once a week. We set up an appointment to do that. And if you can organize some time in your life to have fun, pleasure, social relationships that are supportive and enjoyable, that will give you the strength to go by all these other things that are happening. Okay, quick moon positions. Moon entered Sagittarius yesterday. That was Thursday, 23rd of May. And we know that about the moon in Sagittarius, and Venus and Jupiter are all moving along together with the sun. So we have some happy, fun, pleasurable moments during these difficult times. The moon was in 2 degrees at the time of full, and the moon is trine Pluto, and we also have a sextile with Pluto. So you're going to have Pluto involved in this energy, which will give you big help if you are, and everyone here is, I know, intuitive, spiritual, mediumship activities are at a max. So take profit by it. No, I don't mean monetarily. I was thinking in Italian, actually. I live in Italy. So you're going to benefit from that to the most that you can, because it's a great opportunity. So don't let it pass you by. Today, the moon in Sag exactly square Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Don't allow any dark thoughts or depressing ideas to creep in, because this is a good time you can build structures to prevent that. Avoiding it, take measures to avoid it. We've got a trine with Moon and Mars, so energy is at your disposal. You do have energy to get things done. So the motto right now, we've got Mercury sextile Saturn on the 27th, and the 25th moon enters Capricorn. So Capricorn and Saturn from the 25th to the 27th, we've got Capricorn and Saturn energy for grounding. Put your feet on the ground, do things to get yourself grounded with water, like we talked about before. And this is the time to get things done, because you can have perseverance, you can have resolve, strength, stamina. So figure out what it is you need to do. Make up your mind, say, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take care of that. And you will have the stamina and the resolve, and you'll be able to solve problems rather than just sit and stew about them and let them worry you. You need to be active. And Mercury will be conjunct Uranus on the 30th. This is nervous energy. Be careful what you say, because you're going to have a lot of nervous energy just shooting out. You know how they have those Kirlian photographs where you see your aura energy? The energy is just going to be shooting out in all directions. So do some deep breathing exercises. We're talking about the 30th, late on the 30th, in the evening for our country. These are both energies that affect your nervous system. You have high energy, and it's in the sign of Taurus. So you can go catch a show, go get a movie, go to an art gallery, something beautiful, pleasurable, go eat a wonderful meal with friends. Jupiter and Gemini with a close trine. You want to be with friends that you love. Measure your words and just focus on harmony, peace, and love. And it can be a beautiful week full of energy, getting things done, and having wonderful encounters with your friends and loved ones. So blessings to you. That's it.
Sorry, I'm busy. Hold on.
Okay. All right. So
I think Cynthia Cynthia, I got a donation here, but it's under a different name. You go by a different name, maybe. But thank you so much. Okay, PayPal just worked. Okay, Susan just did that. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Blessings to you.
So nice. Let me see your one moment. It was Susan. And I'm looking for your question, Susan, so I could bring it up. If you have a question, please put it in the list and you'll be first. And there was something else I wanted to say. And I spelled your email wrong because I didn't have these babies on. Susan Little. Thank you, Susan. And so I did make a mistake on the on Lalit's email address on the first one, but I corrected it when I put my glasses on to put in there.
Oh no!
Now wait a minute. I've got to ask you about Annie. Let me find Annie here because Annie Hamlet. Oh, you are thank you for being a member. Oh my gosh. So Annie said she sent you her information a couple of times. I did tell her that you sometimes get behind on that.
I got behind, and this week I promised I was going to get everybody done, and I just told Deborah I finally got my bed fixed yesterday, last night. I have been unable to get into my bed because I have a bed that has a hospital bed, and it went straight up, and the remote broke. And I couldn't
in the up position with her head up.
So I haven't been able to lie down for like 3 weeks. And I had to get my son over here to help because it was so heavy. We had to move the whole bed and take everything apart and reset the remote from under the bed, which weighs like 3 tons. It was a big, heavy Tempur-Pedic bed. I finally got it done yesterday, so I have.
So she finally laid flat.
Yeah. For the first time in about 3 weeks, believe it or not. Man, that was terrible. So I resolved that issue and I have no more excuses. So tomorrow
you're very generous.
I canceled my lessons tomorrow for the holiday. I'm taking the day off from my lessons, and I'm going to do everybody's chart that has sent me.
So can you check your email right now to see if Annie Hamlet, if you've even gotten her?
Yeah, I have to move. I've just put
my she's gonna check Annie, and then if for some reason
I recognize the name though, I'm sure. I just put my program over here and now I can't move it. Okay, cancel. I'll just cancel it. That's okay. Now I'll take a look. But I did see there were several there. And I thought I would get done with the bed issue a few days earlier than I did, but I didn't. So, okay.
Thank you so much. I just got a beautiful donation from Maria is Receiving Abundance. And because you did that, you used a super sticker. I really appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and start your reading because you are right here. Do my guides have a message for me? This week's energy was unsettling. Unsettling. You bet I have.
You bet it was.
But see, the worst is over because it's Friday with Lalit. Just saying. So, okay. Part of I don't know if, Maria, if you read tarot, but when someone would like a message from spirit, I ask your spirit guides and spirit, what's the topic? What's the topic that I should address? And the topic is interesting because it's reverse justice. Something feels like there's an injustice, and it actually has something to do with your feeling of self-worth where work is concerned, or your productivity has not been mirrored back. You work like heck, and then nope, everyone just eats and leaves you with the dishes, right? This is what they're saying. So spirit is recognizing that scenario, not literally the dishes, but it might be the dishes. And again, it moves forward a little bit more, saying you're out of ideas. So it's like you're saying, I'm out of ideas on how to choose differently. Because my bumper stickers, we change our life at the level of action, not wishes. And obviously, you know that as well. But before we can have a destination, we have to have this idea of what we're going to do. And it looks like every bit of effort you have put into this last week, every single thing you just simply tolerated peacefully, or quietly tolerating, or even overtly tolerating, yelling a little bit, that's okay. Spirit is recognizing your work in that, and everything you've done this week is going to pay off big time. I have, for the resolution of this, is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is this guy or gal planting money. It's like there's 7 coins that grew in the garden. Before it comes to bloom, it has to sit there a while and germinate, and the right nurturing to get that to grow into the money. But it's all about tangible stuff. This tells me that everything you've done this week is going to pay off with tangible worth. In other words, people will be smiling at you. People will be saying, thanks for that. What can I do for you? All of that's going to happen real soon. But it looks like for a little while, sometimes life is just dang hard, and it feels like there's no reason for it. But whenever you are struggling, your students are gathering, and it's how you move through that struggle is going to teach others the grace that you have. So understand there may not be real good reasons on our side of the curtain that you should have to struggle this last week. But I got to tell you, everything you did, everything you said is on point. Spirit notices it. And I believe a blessing is right around the corner for you. Thank you so much, Maria. My goodness.
I have an answer for Annie. Annie Hamlet, I have your information, date, time, and place. So good to go. And I will get it for you tomorrow. I do have another lady named Anne who asked for a free reading, but didn't send me any information. I need date, time, and place, Anne. This would be Miss Somerville.
Okay.
So I don't have, she asked for a reading, but I need that data. Date, time, and place. If you don't know the time, say that. You will get less information if you don't know the time. And if you're not certain of the time, you can give me a range, say, but and there were several other people. I have something to do for Michelle and some other people. So
okay, but you do have her.
Yeah. If you don't hear from me by Sunday night, that means I don't have your information.
And her email address is astrology vibrations with an S at gmail.com. Thank you, Annie. Your question goes right to the top, baby. Thank you for everything. And I'm going to answer that right now. And that is, whoops, I'm sorry. Will I be moving in September? Oh, gosh. That's a wonderful question. So I'm going to do a yes, no, and it'll tell me why it's yes and why it's no, whatever it is.
Deborah's cards are the best on this. There's nothing like them. That's why they're called Clarity Tarot. There's my address.
Oh, there's her email address, dear. But it looks like she did receive yours.
Yes, Annie Hamlet. I do have it.
Okay, awesome. So Good news. The answer is yes. And here's the reason, here's how it's going to unfold. So, and you're approaching this with a novice heart. This move, it's almost like, yeah, you have to move and it's going to be hard work and all that stuff. But it's like you're thinking, oh, this is kind of neat. It's a fresh start kind of thing. And you are going to have plenty of money. I don't know if you're worried about that. Spirit is saying, please don't worry about that. But the best part here is that you have the chariot. So the chariot's pretty cool, fast moving energy. But as you can see, there's a white horse and a black horse. This tells me to tell you how I interpret that is that you kind of have to wrestle your horses because you need to bring opposites together and then you can move quite quickly. So if you're stuck or if there's trouble or a setback or something like that, where are your horses going in different directions? You need everything banded together. And I do believe you'll have a voice for that as well. People are going to come to you and say, okay, what's next? And you got to have the answer and start dictating and be your beautiful self on that. So yes, it looks like it's going to be fun, very successful. Congratulations. Congratulations. And gemstone. Thank you so much for that. I am going to look for your question, dear. I want to thank Lalit for planting a seed for me to move. Just getting settled in a new home on wheels. Not sure if we will go to Vegas, but we have flexibility now. General reading, please. You bet you. Oh, I love that. Congratulations on the shift and the freedom that you have right now. And thank you for the sticker. I really appreciate that.
Yay.
I know. So I'm going to move into, oh my gosh, I think I have something here that's kind of odd. It shows new work. Now you're going to be free to roam around the country and what do you mean work? What am I going to do? Now work doesn't necessarily mean the 9 to 5 and stuff, but it does mean a certain point of expertise. And I don't want you to, the message is from Spirit. They don't want you to give up on the idea of creating wealth as you live on the road, maybe. Now, it shows a new idea is coming in, and I'll just throw out a couple. It's going to be totally against, this is the 10 of Pentacles, and it also means family traditions. And it comes in upside down. It's like, bye-bye, everybody. Take care of yourself. We're off to have some fun. But I knew a person who wanted to do that, wanted to move into something and lighten their load and travel. But they needed to have some sort of income. So they started it was a blog at that point, but it turned into a vlog, a video thing. And so they loved pie. So, I mean, this would be this is
You
what
make
I
a
would
living out of that. Maybe that's great. Sign me up.
I know, but what they did was they videotaped, they recorded and had people come with them, choose the best pie destination and go there, invite us to come with you to see what it looks like. And then you vote on how good the pie is. I mean, that's just a little something, but so many, you're about to do something that a lot of people want to do, and they will live vicariously through you. So as far as a general reading goes. It's just something to percolate because it is the Ace of Swords I have here, which is a brand new concept, a brand new idea, and you're going to roll it around a little bit. It might just flop out and say, no, I'm not into that. That's fine. But there is an idea, Spirit is saying, there is an idea that they want to catch fire with you. It doesn't mean pie, but it can. That is just an example. I hope that feels good to you, sweetheart. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. What a beautiful. It's such a beautiful. Let me see here.
What gives you joy and what gives you excitement in life will support you in life if you follow it to your fullest in the best way that you can and have faith that it will keep you going. You can find a niche that allows you to do what you love.
Oh, look at this. Home run, gemstone. This totally fits. And then she says, thank you so much. I'm happy about that because it's nice to have some feedback on that. And it's coming in so clear. And Maria is saying niche for sure. Now there's a reason why out of how many billions of people in the world was 330 million people in America. And I had this experience by living vicariously through pie lovers and their travels. I really enjoyed it. But that was decades ago. All right. But then here we are together tonight. You have that. And it just came to me. So when people are doing readings, all psychics are everything that has happened in their life becomes part of who they are in a reading. So the pie concept is something I've experienced that I really enjoyed, and they did profit on that. So that's why you got the pie. But,
may I give a personal note on this? This is exactly what I was saying to Gemstone. I was feeling this about myself this week, and with the full moon, it just hit me as a revelation. What would really answer all of my needs in this area, because I've been a professional pianist and musician all my life, and I teach children. I love this aspect, and it just occurred to me, I know how to do YouTube channels now, and I can make beautiful songs for teaching kids, teach them math facts, teach them reading skills through songs. I have this little autistic boy that I teach, and he can only learn through music. So I have to sing him everything. So I'm becoming real professional at that.
I love that.
I might as well make the most of it and make some fun videos for kids to
You
do
should.
that.
You should. Oh, how wonderful. What a blessing that would be.
So it just hit me. I went like lightning. Well, why didn't I think of that sooner?
And it just occurred to me, people who have had strokes, people who are autistic and stuff, but people who have strokes, their mind can key into music versus the spoken word.
Absolutely. I did music therapy in the Alzheimer's ward for many years. I was a music teacher at community college in San Diego, and I used to go to Alzheimer patients, Alzheimer clinics where they were treating people to do music therapy. These people maybe couldn't say their name, or they didn't know who they were, but they knew every word of the old songs that were of their era. They could sing all the words and be happy as a lark while the music is going. It hooked into that part of the brain where that memory was living.
Awesome.
And it brought them to life. And it does create neural pathways in the brain when you do that.
Because it's math. Math does that. Oh, thank you everybody for being patient here, but I thank you for the uptick in good fortune for me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go to Julie now. Please let me know what you see happening for me. I will love and appreciate you both. So thank you. So you've got
this is not Julie Velez, right? This is a different Julie. Is that right?
Julie, can you put, did you get
Do I
order
have
a
you?
chart from Lalit? Could you, if you're in the room, would you mind letting us know if you have the chart? Because it sounds like there's a lot of Julie she's
I do
done.
have one Julie right here. I don't know if it's the right one.
Oh, it says it's a different Julie, she
Okay.
says. So, just one more thing. Haven't narrowed down my niche yet, but I'm actually setting up a work recording space in my bunkhouse and have been exploring different trainings. Oh, I love that. I love that. So, what I'm going to do is go back here and so we'll go back. Sure, I can do this through the tarot. I'm going to move into a general and see what's happening with you. Well, something's working in your life in a big way. So you have learned something powerful that has shifted you. I've got the tower here for you, which means there's been a new concept of who you are. So you're getting rid of what isn't you anymore and bringing in stuff that is you. But it's paying off. The very first card is the 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. The cool part is you have the 7 of Wands reversed, which means you're not holding your ground to a point like it's cement. No, I need to do it this way no matter what. It feels like you have let it go, let God. The next card is the Empress. Opportunity starts just flooding you. And then I've got the Knight of Wands, and so all knights are fast moving energy. Some are faster than others, like the Knight of Pentacles. He's not riding it. He's just like, okay, the Knight of Pentacles horse is fast, but it walks. The Knight of Wands is the fastest horse in the horse race. So things are going to start moving really quite fast for you. And it's going to be at the level of action. So even if you hear something, see something gives you an idea, I'd like you to practice this. I want you to say out loud, yes, I want that. Just say, yeah, because that's like verbalize. Like Lalit was talking about music. It brings the tone and it acts like a magnet. So actually things look very good. If you're not feeling excited about the future tonight, it's shifting. So it's not going to be long till you have a real blessing. I found out who Rocky is. Oh, do you have something, Lalit?
I had a sneeze.
You had a sneeze for Julia.
Yeah.
You've been blessed.
Thank you.
So I'm blessed you and leave you with that. And we got Louisa. I discovered who Rocky is. She's using her brother's tablet. I love that. And I think
his name is Rocky.
His name is Rocky. I love that.
Give me his phone number. Anyone named Rocky? My God.
Oh, that Venus is somewhere in that Venus and Pluto. I'm pretending I don't know anything about it. Okay, we've got SR Kish. Question for SR. Can you tell me more about communication with P? Communication with P. I can tell you a bit more.
I'll look at
this
that
is interesting.
Too. I've got that.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I will have it.
Okay,
then if you go first, and then
I'll go first. So when I asked the yes/no, tell me about communication. So my question is, will he be calling you? She be calling you? P, whoever that is, will they be calling you, contacting you? And the answer is no. but there's a reason for it. And I do believe he's just he or she or whatever the situation is are not ready to give up, but can't find their words for whatever struggle you're in. But for right now, because what we're doing tonight is 1 week, predictions. So I think you're in prepare for another week of maybe not feeling the contact coming. And I'm sorry to hear that. And did you find something? Oh, here it is. Oh, she has something more. Her friend, she's asking again. We haven't spoken. I am okay, but miss him very much. Does he miss me for his plan for connection with me? Okay, that's what we just read on. What have you got, my dear?
I'm just looking. I just got her chart for today called up, and Mercury has been passing Saturn lately, which is not ever good for communication. It makes things will be delayed. Soon, in a few days, I think there may be a breakthrough.
Oh,
There's a possibility when Mercury's going to get up to your natal Mercury very soon, and I think in the coming couple of weeks you should have some news.
Oh, good. I hope that helps you. Thank you so much. I am going to pull up Craig's question. He would like to hear from his Uncle Frank. So I'm going to look for Uncle Frank. It'll take me a moment. That's what I was doing, just really quick here. Sometimes people come in. That's interesting. It's not Uncle Frank, but somebody else came in. We'll just still look for Uncle Frank.
Craig's Uncle Frank.
Okay, now I found him. And I want to ask you, is his wife passed as well? Because I have a pair here, a couple that's coming in. And oh, wow, he's with you. The message for you is that he's with you in your quiet time. He's fascinated by your way of communicating with people on the other side. And it's almost like he says, I'm new at this. Can you help me out? It's like they're both been like a magnet to you, because what you do for others, for yourself with, is it Clara? They would like to test that out as well. So I think they would like to have communication with you. So however you do that, you can call in a gatekeeper with one of your guides or with Clara. And I think the message will be there. They're very proud of you, it's almost like a lineage, a legacy. They're saying thank you for that. And they just adore you. I've got Temperance here. They recognize your, I'm saying they because I've got a couple here. They recognize your peaceful nature, your hermit nature, and they really love your energy and are compliment you on that. So it looks like they would like to come through to you. So expect signs and symbols. I want those signs and symbols to be physical. So we're going to make an agreement for your Uncle Frank and whoever his gal pal is with him. And what we're going to ask right now formally, please provide signs that are physical, not just thoughts, not just things that can be dusted away, a real physical signs, and start a language. That's when you start the alphabet, the language, the language the certain people speak in spirit. So, yeah.
I got something with the rods that just tied in with what you said. I was asking the question, did Uncle Frank want to come? And the rods did a funny motion. They came really close, almost there, and then went away. Like they have been in the recent past. There was a close contact, but just barely missed, because he was reaching out but didn't quite make it through. But it's going to change, and it's going to become definite and concrete. And remember what we were talking about, this period coming up of being so beautiful with Pluto and Mercury and Venus all together, and the sun, all giving you mediumship to the other side of the veil. It's a wide open portal coming up, and I think that you're going to have some success in that. And he's actually been very close to you, but just not quite touching.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too. It's like they want to practice with you. I think that's so cool. That is so cool. Whoa. I hope that works for you, Craig. I'm on the starred conversations right now, so I don't see what you might have said about this. But because of the time, I want to move in about now. So, Rocky, not Rocky, Louisa, dressed in Rocky's computer, she would like to hear from her mom, Mary. Now, is that Mary's date of birth or yours? I'm looking for Mary. Hmm. There's some other dead people here, but I'm still looking for Mary. So if Mary doesn't come through, I'm going to speak to you about other people who seem close. Sometimes I think heaven is so awesome that if they're learning something, they won't be available. I know that sounds odd, but it's like when I go into the Akashic Records to read someone, I ask if their soul requests. Oh my gosh, I forgot the terminology. Assistance. If their soul requests assistance. And sometimes the records guides say no, you can't come in. It's like this person's in a part of their life that is, they don't want you messing it up. They want information I might bring in to mess it up. So that's what I feel some of them do. And I am still looking. Mary, come on. I'm looking. And I'm sorry it's taken this long, but it looks like Mary is not coming in, and I'm sorry about that. I wish I could. Oh no. At the last minute. Sorry, Mary, did I scare you? Oh my God, she's going to give up. No, I've got Mary here now. So sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. And Mary is bringing in the energy of a busy, wonderful, busy lady. So I wonder if that fits for you when she was alive. Now that I'm going to move in, she's on the other side with someone young. This could be someone, a sibling of yours that passed away, or a child of some sort she has on the other side. This child was very anchored, measured, and they are together. Oh, she doesn't want you to give up on wishing. Did you do something saying, oh, I'm through wishing? Because that's my bumper sticker. You change your life at the level of action, not wishes. But she is asking you to stay wishful for something tangible coming around the corner, the Ace of Pentacles. So that's something, doesn't necessarily, can mean new work, but in general, Pentacles is anything tangible. Something new is coming in a physical way. A physical. Did you find her chart?
I did. If I got it right, I put February 16th, 1923.
Okay, hold on.
Is that Mary as the mother? And
that's Mama, I
okay,
believe.
Mary, Mother Mary. So February 16th, 2023. The signs are that Mary is definitely interested in communication and would love to have a chance to communicate directly with you. With her Uranus in Pisces and Moon in Pisces, she's born with that, and she's very, very spiritual, and she was a very sensitive person. And Saturn is right on top of her with Neptune, showing wanting to communicate spirit in some practical way. And so the technique, she doesn't quite have the technique, or there's some kind of a glitch in the communication line, in the channel to get it open. So I think you could find a way, and she would definitely, if you find a good medium, your mom will come through. Is that the question that I'm understanding? Is she open for communication? And she's
I'm assuming she is, because she's here with us, and we're so awesome.
It looks like it.
I think so very much.
And
so
just by chance, with the way I happen to set this up, by chance, right? Everything comes out. All the planets are in the 12th house of spirit communication, in the house of mediumship. So I don't know. I'd say that's a sign. But
definitely a sign.
She wants to reach out.
I agree. And then again, we're going to ask that Mother Mary bring in tangible, which I think she will with the Ace of Pentacles here, tangible signs, so you can create a solid language with her.
That's what Saturn is showing here.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I have a little oracle card of James Van Praagh. Let me go get it. See if we get a message from Mary. I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Oh, here's while we're waiting for Lalit, here is Craig. So you had a visitation dream. This is Craig. He had a visitation dream with President Eisenhower calling me into his office. It seems to be in 58. I got something for you on that. I was dressed in that era. He seemed to be giving me bad news. Oh, your mom passed about a month later. Isn't that interesting? What I wanted to bring up is, isn't Eisenhower the one that actually had a conversation with alien visitors? And then he came back to his office and cried. So it's kind of odd, but interesting. So he was one of your messengers. Thank you, Craig. Are you back?
I am. Do we want to see if there's a message from Mary?
Yes.
Okay, Mary. Here's your chance to say something. Well, this is the message she wants to put through is...
Yeah, what is it?
Can you...
No, just read it.
We will be together again.
Awesome.
We will be together again. And they're going across the water.
Isn't that, that's just in line? That's totally in line with our readings and the astrology part. It blows my mind.
Well, that's sweet.
I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. You know what, everyone? We are 15 minutes past the hour. I just don't want to bore people so much by hanging on. And I really appreciate all your generosity. Bora Bora, thank you so much for moderating. Also, all of my memberships, thank you so much. If anyone sees Polly, please tell her to contact me. She signed up to learn tarot in my memberships class, and I don't have her contact information. YouTube doesn't give us any emails or anything, so it has to be like this. But I did say something in the community page. But if all of you had your eyes out for Polly and stalk her.
On this topic, Bora Bora, please, said I did not get I didn't see an email from you. You have to identify yourself as being Bora Bora. It might be a different name showing on the email, because you've been so wonderful to us regarding the help and the comments of the things you do, that you want a reading, remember? And I want to send you your chart and set up an appointment.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to I'm going to dance us off stage, and I got to tell you, this is thank you so much for being here. Every one of you means so much to us. Appreciate it. See you next Friday.
So happy to see you. Thank you so much, everybody. I feel so much better myself now.
I do too. Love you. Bye-bye. Yep. I was too slow.